Truly a living legend. That term is thrown around a lot. It truly applies to Gloria Steinem. She has been famous for maybe 4, maybe 5 decades. She's incredible. I knew about her when I was in nursery school. I remember my mom and dad talking about her. She founded Ms. Magazine, a feminist icon. I also remember on the Johnny Carson show, she's been active and vocal and strong for a long, long time. A special event coming up in New York on Monday. We'll tell you all about it in a moment. But first, Gloria Steinem, along with Stacey Tisdale, financial journalist, founder of Winning Play. Welcome to you both, and great to see you again.
Thank you very much.
So, Stacey, I know during that whole conversation with Andrew Wyatt, you were like, I gotta say something, because you actually met Bill Cosby.
I did meet Bill Cosby. I interviewed him. And at the end of our interview, and I was escorting him out of the building, I got an invitation from him to, we have to talk, come to my house for breakfast. And it was, funny. And when I, declined and said I had to go to work, he was not ready to take no for an answer. And I could just see that something felt off to me. What I got out of that and what I tried to share in the story that I wrote about it is that sometimes celebrity is binding, because my instinct was to say that felt off, but that has to be wrong because that's Bill Cosby. So I kept it. I pretty much kept that to my. Yeah, he was like, "No, you're coming to breakfast with me."
When was this?
Around late close to 2000.
So this was before, I guess, this was all kind of widespread that he was.
Yeah, and again, I remember my ex-husband, best friend, and I were talking about this the other day, and he said, yeah, I remember he said, you were upset when you came home with that. And we said, no, you must have read it wrong. It must be Bill Cosby. And one of the things I wanted to get out in the story that I wrote is that celebrity is binding, and that we have to really teach our children that, the character is not the person, and just because someone is famous, we have to be careful because we sometimes give them that extra benefit of the doubt and sometimes trust your instincts.
Well,
is the only
I also think, Gloria, that celebrities have a different set of rules around them. I mean, over the years, we've seen a lot of celebrities kind of, have different rules where some marry their, their adopted daughter and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, and that's considered okay.
It's not considered okay. No, absolutely not. I mean, celebrity works both ways. It magnifies both faults and virtues. So it's not, totally an excuse for everything. But, I do think that we have some big, misconceptions. We think rich people are smart. This is not true. Most money is inherited. We think celebrity is more important than content. This is not true. Celebrity is the form. It's the content that's the point.
And one more thing. Celebrity is binding. I just want to, I like...
Blinding.
Blinding. B-L-I-N-D-I-N-G. Sure enough. I totally get that. Well, all right. We're going to move on from the Cosby matter because, let's face it, it's unpleasant and it's divisive. I mean, right?
And
no, it's not divisive.
It's somewhat, well, you heard him. And
I know, but he's representing him. It's not divisive. I mean, most people are just looking at this pathetic guy and thinking, okay, just tell the truth.
All right, well, let's stay on it for a moment. How did he get away with it for so long, if it's true?
And there's so many women.
Because of celebrity,
that's what I was
Stacey pointing out, but also because, one, as with Trump, we think this is inevitable behavior of males, which is an insult to males. There are many, many good men who do not do this. 2, we don't believe the women. We think that somehow they must have invited, by the very fact of being born into a female body, we've invited this kind of assault.
Well, Gloria,
and it's much better than it used to be. There's a higher level of consciousness, but we still have a big problem.
you're speaking very, very broadly. I mean, we do believe the women. We do believe. People are prosecuted and convicted every single day. It happens. I mean, people, this does happen, and people recognize that.
Yeah, but this is a very familiar pattern. For instance, with sexual assault on campus, it's very important now that it's possible to report on the computer so that you can have companionship. You can have 2 or 3 women assaulted by the same person or in the same situation, because that's necessary in order to be believed. When it's one-on-one, it's still a problem.
And the burden of proof is really on women, to the point where you even doubt yourself. And that's really, I hope, the message that people can take out of this, and that we really re-examine that. Just because this was a celebrity, just because this is, you know, such a famous father, that we really have to give women a little bit of a break on this issue.
Absolutely. We all understand that.
Well, the thing was,
And we've got one in the White House now. Hello?
Well, hold on.
all right, let's talk about
Let's talk about women.
Yes, let's talk about why the two of you are together. Because
talk about women.
Stacey's in the financial world, and you're sort of Gloria in the political world.
No, we're
and-
together because we're friends, and also we're together because we discovered in our different generations
Yes.
that we were mutually very mad that the women's movement has so often been characterized as primarily white middle-class women, when in fact, from the very beginning, the very first national Lewis Harris poll, there have been twice as many black women in support of women's issues and the women's movement as white women. And if you look at the Trump vote, you see the majority of white married women voted for Trump. 95% of black women, married and unmarried, voted for Hillary Clinton.
Why was it perceived,
this
Gloria,
is
if I may,
big
why-
misperception, and
Well, why was
together
it?
we're
Why is it
trying to-
perceived that the women's movement was such a, you know, a project of white middle class women? Why was that
You got
perception?
me. I don't know.
Well, you're
I
in the
mean-
middle of it. Come on, you got a theory or two.
Well, I hope I didn't contribute to it. I tried not to, because actually all of my four speaking partners for 20 years were African American women.
Stacey, why do you think that emerged?
For black women, the feminist movement was something that's different because of, you know, race can't be disassociated with their experience. And one of my heroes, Maggie Lena Walker, who was actually the first woman in the United States to charter a bank in 1902, told black women, you're going to have to join your mites and you're going to have to create businesses for yourselves. And so a lot of black women felt alienated by the feminist movement, which is why we had people like Alice Walker coin the term womanism. And I think some of the reasons black women feel alienated, what we were discussing in the makeup room, when we hear things like the pay gap, women earning 77 cents for every dollar men make. For black women, it's 64 cents. The message that we are trying to get out here is that people, you don't have to be defined by movements. And we want to use the example of black women. Despite all those challenges, black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States. More than 300%, they've created, the number of businesses they've created have gone up more than 300% since 1997. They're an incredible story of resilience. So the purpose of the event that we're doing on Monday is to show that story of resilience and remind everybody that they can do that.
How can we get tickets to the event on Monday?
Let's see. Oh, you can talk to Gloria.
I think here it is.
Winningplays.org.
Yes.
And folks, this is at the Paley Center for Media, June 26th. And I'm looking at my sheet here. I don't see what time it actually starts. Anybody know?
It's at 6 p.m. and if anyone is interested in getting tickets, we have a special bonus for your viewers. They can, at the discount time, they can put $75. They can also go to winningplays.org to learn more. But it's going to be an amazing event with an amazing group of women, including Angela Yee, Power 105 Breakfast Club host, Carol Jenkins, an award-winning
Carol
financial
Jenkins,
journalist,
we know Carol.
Grace Van
Carol,
Cruz.
my favorite broadcast journalist. She was on NBC for a long time and then CBS. Please tell her I said, maybe I'll tell her myself.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
exactly.
go myself.
Monday, tickets still available, obviously.
There's some tickets still available. And again, everyone can also watch this on thegrio.com on Tuesday. And our aim is to change the conversation. Black women are a force of power. They can teach us all a lot. And the feminist movement has to be multidimensional.
Beautiful, Stacey. Gloria, what else? I can't let you go. I can't let you go. I am. What else shall we talk
love
about?
Gloria.
How you holding up? How you holding up? You watch the news these days? No, I know it probably. Does it freak you out?
And no, because actually he didn't win the election. He lost by 10 million votes. You know, he's going to.
I think it was more like 3.5.
No, because if you count all the other candidates, 3 for Hillary and 7 for the other candidates, it's 10 million votes.
All
He
right.
will help us get rid of the Electoral College, and we will get rid of him.
Go see Gloria on Monday, would you? All right, Good Day's coming right back.